Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm KeylowK, and today we're going to be rating the Rat. This build is created by Lost. As always, I'll be going over the pros and cons of this build and giving my opinions on it. If you don't know who Lost is, then I suggest you go check out his channel. That should come up on the screen right here. His main focus is creating his own unique builds in Elden and testing them out in PvP invasions. He also has done some challenge run-like content in Elden and so much more. So, if that sounds like your thing, then go check his channel out. And while you're there, as always, go drop him a sub or go watch some of his content. I know he would appreciate it. As always, before we jump into the content, I'll give y'all a quick overview on how we judge and rate these builds. Let's get it! We rate builds on three things. Drip, how awesome does this build look? PvE, how much damage this build can produce? And how well does it work against enemies and bosses in the game? And lastly, PvP. How well does it work against other players? Each section gets a score from 1 to 10, and the build gets an overall score of 30. I'm really excited to share my thoughts on this build, and I want to reiterate that I have no ill intentions or ulterior motives. I greatly respect all creators who dedicate their time and effort to providing us with their builds for us to enjoy. Alright, that's enough for this part, let's get into the content. For the drip of this build, we have the Bloodhound Nighthelm, Greaves, the altered version of the Bloodhound armor, and the Confessor gloves. I'm really liking the belts that are around the waist, up the sides of the armor, and on the greaves. It makes this build really unique and visually pleasing to the eyes. The Confessor gloves go well with this build. I also like the little details of the armor and axes which make them aesthetically appealing. On the helm, the front of it looks like a beak from a bird. I don't know how I feel about this. Maybe this build can pick its enemies to death? This build is carrying two colossal weapons called the Axe of Godfrey, and they are both max level at plus 10. It also does standard damage. This is basically an end game weapon, so if you want to get 2 on your first playthrough, then you'll need to defeat Godfrey. Go to the mausoleums to duplicate the remembrance of Horaloo, then go to the round table hold and talk to Enya. Also, this footage is all taken in New Game Plus. With all that said and done, I'm going to rate this a solid 7 out of 10. Really, the only thing that I dislike about this is probably the long pointy thing on the mask, but that's just personal preference. On to the next one. Let's get it. The starting class for this build is the Vagabond. This build is heavily focused on strength. The Ash of War on the two axes of Godfrey is Regal Roar, which adds 7.5 physical damage and adds plus 5 with strength scaling, whatever that means. The talismans for this build are the Axe Talisman, the Claw Talisman, the Roar Talisman, and the Erdtree's Favor plus 2. This build has no incantations, so there is no need for a seal as well. The physic that this build is running is the Crimson Bubble Tear, which restores HP when near death, and Crimson Whirl Bubble Tear, which converts damage received into HP. All the stats for this build should show up right here on screen. Now that we have that all out of the way, let's get into the content. So I thought the Godskin Noble would be a perfect fight for this build. Basically, I just wanted to see how well this build will do against this enemy. So his hits go through objects. Right now I'm just waiting for him to do an attack so I can dodge and try counter attack. I wonder if I can hit him with my Ash of War while he's behind a pillar. Look at that damage. Sheesh. Oh, I got hit. he gonna do here? Roll. Hey, look at that. I thought this would be another interesting fight as well. Here's me just chilling. Hey, let's go. Let's do a jump attack. Yo, we got a crit. Watch out. Oh, damn. Run. Roll. Come on, we're almost there. Boom. Jump attack. I think the Omen are almost like the perfect enemy to practice on because they're tough, they're quite strong, and it does take a little bit of skill to beat them. But I think the Omen will continue being one of the test dummies. Hey, let's go. I figured since we have the Axe of Godfrey, why not fight Godfrey himself? Probably one of the best soundtracks in Elden Ring. Not gonna lie, I died a few times here. I kept getting hit by his second swing, which I should really go to the left instead of going to the right. Jump attack. I get smashed. Nice that he actually missed me. Go, yep. Jump attack. Boom. I hate it when he changes that move. I still can't see it properly. It really goes to show how devastating the jump attack is on this build. I missed the damn crit. I thought I could jump attack and then get a crit, but I was mistaken. I should have got hit there, looked like it. Even that one. Oop, got hit. Come on. Sheesh. Let's go. GG's. I've spent 3 hours testing the build in PvE. The charge attack is solid with hyper armor, making it good for trading blows with smaller enemies. The Ash of War is decent with hyper armor that only larger enemies can break. It's an AoE attack that boosts AR on your weapons. If you cast the Ash of War on both hands, they both get boosted AR for a limited time. The damage for the Ash of War is roughly 1800 to 2k, and it flings smaller enemies into the air. It staggers some medium to larger enemies. The jump attack with the L1 does impressive damage of roughly 1800 to 2k. Running R1 and running R2 are good attacks to close the distance between enemies. The charge attack or R2 is a highlight, as 2 charged R2s stance breaks most medium to larger enemies, allowing you to get a critical hit and deal serious damage. The build is a bit slow due to the colossal weapons. The Ash of War leaves you open for an attack for about 2 seconds due to the animation. The recovery for most attacks is slow. You can get hit after a jump attack if the enemy recovers quickly. The poise is quite low at 39, but the hyper armor makes up for it. Overall, the build is a powerhouse with some minor drawbacks. I will give this a 8.5 out of 10. I did have a good experience with this build in PvE. I had to get comfortable with this build, as this type of build is something that I don't tend to use, but that's just my personal preference. Anyways, on to the next one. Let's get it. This build is made with PvP invasions in mind, so I'm really excited to see this colossal powerhouse 2-axe wielding build go toe to toe against some of these other builds in PvP. With that being said, let's get into it. Straight into it, let's go. Wow, look who we have here. I guess in this round you can call me Griffith. Oh, he puts me to sleep. I do a jump attack. We trade. Gosh. This guy just started buffing himself, and so did I. Oh, he's a mage build. Take that. Sheesh, look at that damage. I wasn't too sure what to do here, so I just waited it out. I thought I'd roll into him just in case, and GG's. I kept facing this person quite a lot. I do an L1 to try and stop the Ash of War, but we traded, and that takes off a lot of damage. I thought I'd try the Ash of War. I've been learning roll catches and I actually got one, so quite happy with that. I don't think this person expected the follow-up attack. I kind of baited it as well. I was like, let's wait. GG's. Running R1. Kind of just circling each other. He does his Ash of War. I waited for him. Oh, I get hit. Bam. Get out of the way. It worked. I thought he would have jumped that. Well, GG's. Here we have the same person again. See what we can do. Oh, get out of the way. Bro, come on, get it, get it. Nice jump attack. Look at that damage on it, man. Look at that damage. Was trying to roll catch there. And I just won. GG's. Not gonna lie, this build is probably the hardest build to actually try and make it work in PvP duels, and I'll explain why in the outro, but this is just to show that I did not win all my battles. We also got a tie. We also got a no-show. I think you can see what's going to happen next. So with that being said, let's move on to the outro of PvP. This is an opportunistic build in PvP. It requires a calculated offense, forcing opponents to attack. The mid-range is ideal for utilizing the build's weapons range and spotting openings. Patience is key for this build. For general attacks, use running R1. The Ash of War is a high risk, high reward move. After Regal Roar, the charge attack moveset changes. It's a quick AoE attack with a follow-up that can bait trades. The biggest cons are slowness, making it an opportunistic build in my opinion. This build is generally not my style, but I did enjoy it. With that being said, I'm going to give it a 6.5 out of 10. Let me know in the comment section if I missed anything. The overall score, Drip, we gave it a 7 out of 10. PvE, we gave it a 8.5 out of 10. PvP, we gave it a 6.5 out of 10. So the total score comes to 22. This is one of the top scoring builds so far, with Drunk Souls taking the lead on the leaderboard for best all-round build. I'm assuming you'll be at an intermediate gameplay level once you get these weapons. So this build is suited for intermediate to advanced players. However, I think beginners can also play this build. Would I play this build for PvE? I definitely would. Would I play it for PvP again? It really depends. It was a really hard build to get into because of the slowness and how clunky it felt. But in saying that, this is not really my type of build. I know there is people out there that will like this build. It's just personal preference for me. If you like the content, give this channel a like and a subscribe. It will just show me that you guys want more content like this. And if you disagree or agree with anything, then let me know in the comment section. Everyone have a blessed day or night, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!